I can hear you, trolls. What are you going to do, Faith? Are you going to cover this story now that it's a white supremacist, now that it's a hate crime against Muslims? Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, yes, I am. So this week, several buildings were evacuated at Concordia, a Canadian university in Montreal, Quebec. So while Concordia's Muslim Brotherhood-funded Muslim Students Association was in the midst of Islam Awareness Week, well, media outlets received an email threatening to target Muslim students at the college by setting off bombs. The self-described warning letter to all Muslim students was penned by a group called C4, the Council of Conservative Citizens of Canada. Now that President Trump is in office south of the border, things have changed, the note reads, before calling out anti-Christian and anti-Jewish speeches during Friday prayers. And then went on a really long and frankly bizarre rant about feet and flip-flops and foot washing in the bathroom sink before this. Between March 1st and March 3rd, we will detonate once per day small artisanal amateur explosive devices that we planted onto floors where Muslims hang out. The two buildings were promptly evacuated and thoroughly searched, and fortunately, no so-called artisanal explosive devices were found. So, did headlines read hoax, fake bomb threat at Concordia? Did journalists do some actual journalism into the group behind the threatening letter? Of course not. Instead, they scored cheap political points. Some journalists rushed to call the hoax terrorism. Note, police never did. Others cited white supremacy and President Trump because apparently that's what journalism is now. Blame Trump, article accomplished. And of course, many made the obligatory calls for solidarity with the Muslim community and more security for them as well. Well, some good news. It would seem authorities have found the hoaxer, as one man is now in police custody. Some bad news. It's just the media narrative that's been detonated. Meet Hisham Saadi, the conservative white supremacist Trump-supporting Islamophobe. Yeah, except he's actually a 47-year-old Lebanese man who was reportedly a student at Concordia University. And he's now being charged with mischief, uttering threats, and inciting fear of a terrorist-related attack. And the C4 group that sent the note, yeah, it doesn't exist. There is absolutely no mention of it online before coverage of the actual note, but no mention of that minor detail in the fake news media reports. As for Mr. Saadi's religious predilections, well, in an interview with police, authorities wouldn't tell me whether or not the suspected hoaxer is himself a Muslim, and the web holds, well, very little information about his views and his private life. Except, check this out. Is this our hoaxer? It's a post from an online forum called Tatamon, which is Arabic for solidarity. The original post to which Saadi was replying is from a web blogger in Beirut during the 2006 Lebanon War. You remember that 34-day war between Israel and the designated terrorist group Hezbollah, a group based in Lebanon, the suspect's country of origin? Well, it doesn't take a reader much time at all to see that the bias of this blog is seriously anti-Israel. In the third comment down, a Hisham Saadi writes in French, but here's a translation. He says this: "The Israeli genocide continues. It is important to protest against Mr. Harper's shameful position. We ask all Lebanese, our Arab colleagues, and all the friends of our fellow Canadians in Quebec to present massively to the next demonstration in Montreal this Tuesday. Your symbolic presence will be a great psychological and moral support to our resistors." In short, no bomb, no Islamophobia, no white supremacist group, and no hate crime. Just a Lebanese man facing charges who might be the same guy behind an anti-Harper and anti-Israel comment online. And it all happened in a school where Jewish students are being told to take off their kippahs by their peers, who say that Concordia is a, quote, Arab university. There you have it, trolls. I reported on your story. For the Rebel.media, I'm Faith Goldie. For more news and views, click below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.